What's going on, family? Before we start today's market watch, I want to let you know that I have a challenge coming up. Okay. My challenge is going to be called the Spend Less, Make More Challenge. Because if I could teach you, well, let me say this, if we can get you to save just a little bit more than what you normally spend, then I can get you to learn a certain type of skill that can apply that money you're saving and invest it or flip it or grow it in some manner. Then we can make you, a really happy person. I'll just say that, right? So my goal here is to kind of go over some of the tips, tricks, and tactics. This is not just trading, right? I'm going to be talking about trading a lot. That's a lot. But what's going to happen during these 3 days, 21st through the 23rd, is I'm going to be taking you through pretty much what I had to go through. For those of you who don't know, I had to file bankruptcy back in 2010. I lost it all. I had cars, I had a house. I lost my car, my house, or my cars. I lost all my cars. I lost my house, and I had to move back in with my mom. I slept actually on my mom's living room floor for about 2 years as I picked myself, pick my head up, pick my chin up, and figured it out. And one of the things that or a few of the things that I did, um, I'm going to be talking about, how to make it from the bottom. There's a lot of people like, hey, I don't have a lot of money, to invest and to, pay for coaching and things like that. How do I get out of the mud? How do I get out of this situation? We're going to be talking about that, right? Not only how to save your way out, but no, how to spend your way out, how to invest your way out, how to learn your way, educate your way out. I'm going to be doing the educating. So make sure you sign up for this. You don't want to miss it. It is going to be a 3 day. I'm going to pack these 3 days full of, when I tell you fire, good God, fire. So make sure you are there. Once again, it's free to sign up. Just bring your butt on in and come learn, right? Come learn. I got you. That being said, let's get into today's STB Market Watch.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These private.
Yo, what's going on, family? It's your man Tay Sweat here once again, and this is another STB Market Watch. Now, today, I want to do something I haven't done in a while, right? We've been doing a lot of the beginner mentorship classes, and I want to, of course, keep those coming and keep the helpful stuff coming. But there does come a time, and I've even had to do this with a lot of my students, in STB and my one-on-one students. Every now and then, we need to take a step back and just go over review. We need to review things, back test things together, and ultimately put to test what we've gone over. Right. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to pretty much give you an analysis on, like we always do. I always do. Give you analysis on the ES or the SP 500 and kind of let you know where I see the overall market going for the next day. And of course, before we do that, who am I? For my new people, my name is Tay Sweat. I am a stock, futures, options, crypto trader. I've been trading pretty much almost 10 years now. Um, I got my start with penny stocks. Like I always tell you all, penny stocks are usually close, if not are actually going bankrupt. So it's very pivotal for you to be really, really good with technical analysis, right? So pretty much that's where I get all of my, edge. I'm not into fundamentals and I don't trade the news, all this other crap. I look at the charts and I can tell you exactly what's about to happen, right? And then I place a bet on it. I put my money where my mouth is. It's exactly what I do. And the reason why I teach this stuff is because I personally want to show people what's possible. I want to show people that it's not just, oh, everybody loses when it comes to trading. No, that's not true. And as a matter of fact, I like to show and prove that this thing can be taught to anyone who's willing to put in the work and learn. So that's why I started teaching for free. Of course, I don't put everything out there simply because I want my stuff to still work. So I put things out there for free that if they stop working because so many people know about them, I'm okay. My students are okay. We can still trade the markets profitably, consistently. And, we have some stuff that's still in house, that's still sacred, that still gives us edge. Okay, but nonetheless, the free stuff that I've taught you all, it's still really good stuff. It still works really well. Once again, I'm going to keep bringing the good stuff. All right. So that being said, let's go over some review. Let's see where the ES is going based on just a few things that we've kind of been going over and talking about. All right. So today, really good day. This thing's been bullish. We've been making money, taking advantage of this bullish move. Um, I'm definitely looking or seeing some sellers over here. All right. We got sellers in this area here. All right. So I'd like to see what's going to happen now. That means we have a move that we can take as high as 44.60 pretty much. 44.60, 44.63. So we'll say somewhere in there. So this thing has gapped up, it's moving. Of course, that gap was due to your contract shifts, but nonetheless, it is still gapping up and literally just moving like crazy. Okay. So I do see some sellers in there. Now, what I'm looking for, a few things. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring in some support here. Okay. So right now we got support sitting at 43.29. Okay. If we go into a smaller time frame, or we don't even go into a smaller time frame for this, because it's showing now. So I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna give you this one. Okay. This is what we would call, what I call a field goal. All right. So field goal gap pretty much in there. It depends on who you learn from. Okay. I know Michael talks about fair value gaps. Jay talks about ABC. He calls it an ABC gap. I call it a field goal. Right. The reason why is because that's your pole here, your pole there. There's your field goal in between. Of course, there's rules to that field goal. We've broken through it. Keep in mind, these hold as support and resistance. Okay. So we're sitting on top of this one right now as support. Um, right now, we have two areas that we can bounce in between, right? We can bounce in between. Once again, we have sellers sitting at the top of this candle, right? And then we have, and if I'm being totally honest with you, look at this. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Look at that. We have another one right here, as a matter of fact, right? And that'll kind of show you why it's kind of slowing down. So we're literally coming in and taking these out. Took this out. It's going in to take that out. And the beauty about that is these are going to have to retrace eventually. All right. So that being said, these are looking prime for a pullback, or the ES period is looking prime for a pullback. One, to close this gap. Two, to retrace this gap. So you have a gap in here. So here and here. And then this gap from back over here needs to retrace. So I'm definitely looking for a price target at 4,300 area. But once again, we need some sellers to step in. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave these on the daily. All right. I don't want these showing on the hour chart. And we're going to go in and draw some, let me take these off. All right. So we're going to go in and draw some Elliott waves. See how this thing wants to play out and where we are going. All right. So just kind of showing you once again how I like to assess things, how I like to break things down. Um, let's see. Let's zone out just a little bit. You know what? As much as I hate to say this, um, this really, really, really looks like a corrective wave. So this looks similar to maybe like a B, C pattern. There's not a lot of like 5 wave structures in it. This, yeah, you know what? This could be corrective, which means we're going to be expecting some type of five waves down, right? Or what some people may call like impulsive waves. Okay, you all know I like my Fibonacci. You know I like my Fibonacci is one of my favorite. My Elliott waves is one of my favorite. My trend lines is definitely one of my favorite. We're going to be looking, so going over review, looking at our trend lines. We definitely still have this playing out here. Let's draw. I don't like that. Let me zone out just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. All right. I mean, yeah. Even if I, oh, even if I start here, right? I draw something kind of like this. I mean, yeah. Support, support, support. Look at that, came in, support, support. Got above resistance. Tried to hold. They front ran essentially some resistance, and then yeah, we bounced support off of this area, and then we ran right into resistance. And look at that. I mean, it's holding a solid, 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 solid resistance right in here, right? So I think we can bounce up, potentially, continue to run against this area. Of course, I'm going to be looking really, like a hawk. I'm going to be looking to see if this thing wants to reverse. I'm going to be looking for a break in market structure just to see if that reverse or if it wants to reverse. If it does reverse, yeah, this is a move that we can expect. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking a full move down here, boom to that 43, 48 bounce, probably bring it on out. And then I'm expecting because that will be wave one, wave two, wave three. Wave three is usually going to be your longest. I'm going to expect a wave three bounce, maybe, I'd say maybe somewhere in here. Yeah, somewhere in there, that 4240 area. Bounce, and then I can expect, or we can expect a move down, and that may be a little bit too low, but a move down maybe to about that. I don't know. That actually might be right about there, about 4204. Right. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking for. If we continue, look, this thing is smoking hot. This thing is smoking hot, but we have to follow the game plan. We have to follow the rules. We have to follow what it is we see, right? And what it is I see is that this is resistance and that's support. So if that's resistance, then of course, and I'm not telling you that that's a great entry point. I'd like to see some other things show me, hey, that was a great entry point. But support and resistance, I mean, the way we play the game is, hey, you do not buy resistance and you do not sell support. If you're going to sell, you sell resistance. This is resistance, and you buy support. So if there are some other contributing factors that can play into this thing, then what we could actually be expecting is a move off of this downward, right? Downward. And like I said, this to me, this looks corrective, 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 right? So this looks like a corrective wave, ABC. I'd like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Um, I am bearish. I am bearish. Um, Now it's gonna take it can't this thing can take a minute to play out though, because we're too bullish. So when I say I'm bearish, I still have to follow ultimately the market, right? So the market doesn't care how bearish I am. If I say I'm bearish and then the market wants to get above this line like this, so watch this. This is what can happen. If the market says, "Oh, Tay, so you bearish? Okay, cool. Let me get on above here and then let's continue." Right? I, as a profitable trader, one of the number one things that we have to do, and this is something I want to talk to you all about. One of the things you have to get used to doing is saying, "Hey, I'm wrong right now. I'm still wrong. There's a lot of area down here we need to cover, but hey, I'm still wrong. It's not ready yet." So one of the things you have to get used to is saying, "Hey, I'm wrong. Jump on the right track. If this is the wrong track going down, hey, let me jump in here with the bulls." Oh, you're going to pop your head above this. Okay, cool. If you hold it, let's go. I'll ride the ride with you. I'm okay with that. All right. I'm totally fine with that. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking for. We got some other support lines like right in this area. So I'm waiting on that. That's really a speed line. So I'm waiting on that speed line to break. If we can break that speed line, you see we're wedging in here. Look, clockwork, bing, 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 bing. So if I can get that speed line to break, this is going to give me a nice little move or potential move. Let me say it that way. It can give me a nice potential move to the downside, right? Downstairs, Cletus. Y'all remember that? So anyway, that's definitely what I'm going to be looking for. This thing is really setting up to be wedged and pushed into this range right here. Um, it looks like one of the things I like to do is put a time limit on it. It looks like you got about till like 7 a.m. tomorrow to figure it out. Figure it out. So this thing may all night, it may just do this. But you got 8 a.m. You got until about 8 a.m. tomorrow. This is where like the in between goes. Now, I've seen things consolidate in something this small, but I don't think it's going to do that. And as a matter of fact, once again, I am still bearish because this is once again a rising wedge. Okay. Um, so as this thing rises, okay, and it's rising into this wedge, I do see a breakdown or break out of here, right? I'll be looking for other signs once again to tell me, hey, let's move it down, right? So that's essentially what I'm going to be looking for. I'll be looking for that, and hey, let's see if we get our move out of here. Some of the macro looks that I'm seeing right now. We'll go over the macro real quick. So I gave you all kind of like a day trade type of thing, but here's macro. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I mean, when you see this, this is just a straight up, like, look at that. It's just a straight up move, right? It's a straight up move. Like, no pullbacks, really. Just let's just rock it on out of this thing, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I get real nervous when I see that. Not nervous, but let's say, skeptical. And that's on either side. When I see it just straight line, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. You don't bet against that. You don't bet against this. So, what I'm trying to say here is although I am bearish, I will be lightly going against this, lightly, if I do decide to go against it. But this right here is way too bullish to try to fade this. All right. Especially if you don't have any resistance. And as far as I'm concerned, we do not right now. We do not have any resistance. I'd say last resistance we had maybe, I don't know, maybe like here. Here. So yeah, that was good resistance. Look at that. Resistance, 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 resistance. So this was a really good resistance. The next one, sheesh. I don't know. I don't know if there is anything that can slow this thing down. I had some resistance right in this area. So support, 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 fell below it, resistance, and they front ran it, but resistance, resistance. Look, we just got above this resistance. So I'm like, shit. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I don't have anything slowing us down until here. So once again, I am going lightly on all pullbacks because this thing is looking nuts. Nuts. Um, So for me personally, I will not be going too heavy in anything going against this. Anything really that's a pullback, I go light for the pullback in a day trade and look to bounce this thing and continue it. That's what 54.43. All right. So here's our real target. I'll be honest with you. So it may pull back because it's getting pretty hot. So it may pull back a little bit, give you a baby buying opportunity. And then I think we're going to 50, 45, 30 ish, right? 45, 30. So you put that in your trading journals, your trading books, right? And let's see how this thing works. Me personally, once it gets there, maybe, just maybe, depending on what it looks like, maybe I'd be willing to go ahead and knock his head off right here and then see if we can take it back down. So that's my analysis for the day. There's a few other things that I can bring into this. Let's go back here. Um, just kind of reviewing what we talked about yesterday, right? There's a few things that we may be able to bring in, right? I'm coming back here, support, 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 resistance, resistance, support, support, support. Let's open this thing up. Yikes, look at this. This thing has been, oh man, look at that support, support. Got above resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 right in here and there. I mean, it's close. It's close. This is a weekly candle. Keep in mind, this weekly candle has not been closed. So this can easily be a wick and a pullback. And that's why I said I think it does need to pull back. So yeah, what we may be getting is kind of like a little wick to come out, pull back, boom, 43, 40-ish, right? And then we may do something like this until we can get to that line, right? So this line may not get touched until shoot, that's October, right? So this is what I could see happening just based on, I mean, this has been a long-term line. All right. And look, COVID, hey, it respected it, got below it. Look, held some resistance there, resistance, got above it, support, support. This line been here for a minute, a lot of support there, support there. Yeah, I like it. I like this line a lot. Like this line a lot. So that's something that we can be looking forward to checking out. So yeah, family, like this is something that I do. I do a lot of this. Every now and then I just take a big, big step back and just look at it from this angle, right? Look at it from this angle and see what is it that we can break down and see, right? I like that. Look at this 2020 COVID lows. Right? 2020 COVID lows. And then look, that brings you right back up here. And then you get you some support. Support, 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 support. Goodness gracious. So once again, if it does pull back, we got one support, two support, potentially three support. So if it takes some time to fall back down into it, right? So maybe we hit here, we fall in, hit here again, we fall below, boom. It could even do something like that. But yeah, the lowest I think we can get is 41.65, right? I mean, unless we get a crazy candle down to like here. But even then, I mean, the lowest you got is about 40, 43, 40, 40, something like that. And I got some area down here that definitely needs to get touched. So I'm definitely looking at some some type of move happening to where we can get down here because there are some things that need to be touched for us to get down there and touch. So yeah, this is kind of like my little range. So if you want to use this as a cheat sheet, feel free, be my guest. It's totally fine. But I definitely think this is the move. This is definitely the move to they say, hey, find your zone and trade inside of it. This is your zone of trading, right? Trading in the zone, right? So, yeah, I'll be looking to see how this thing wants to follow this zone. So here, here, and then here. It's a lot of opportunity in there, right? A lot of opportunity in there. Let's see. You have here right, that it can trade into. And then, of course, if we can get down in here, you got this. Okay. A lot of opportunity. If we get above, right? If we get above it and hold, a lot of opportunity in there. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. This is kind of how I teach. This is how I trade. This is how I break things down and then I trade what makes sense. Okay. Now this is a weekly chart. So if I was to trade this, I'd be swinging it and maybe trading on a day, using more like a daily or maybe 4 hour chart, but finding my zone, my range to trade in using the weekly chart. Right. So that's been another great. Hold on. Before we exit this out, hey man, y'all show me some love. I do this stuff out of the kindness of my heart just because I like to help. And I feel like I got a gift that I can help a lot of people with. So I show love. All I want in return is for you to show me some love back, baby. That's it. Show me some love, baby. Show me some love. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share my shit. All right. Outside of that, I'm about to go ahead and take this thing to bed. It's late. And I want to see if I can catch my baby boy before he goes to sleep. So love you all. Have a great night. And let's get this thing started for the morning. I'm out.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These